Hi everybody, it's Jonathan and Joni here. We're in beautiful Dana Point Harbor. You know, you'd think you'd find a great place to record, but a lot of people like to be down here, and we found a spot that we just wanted it to be quiet and reflective about some things that we want to share with you. And they're sensitive things, and this particular thing is something all of us need to think about and be aware of all the time. And so over the last couple days, I guess it was back on the 5th, a football player, a 24-year-old man, Marshawn Kneeland, took his own life. And that just grabbed me because he's a young man, 24 years old. What happened? And we all want to stop and think about what happened, right? Like what caused this young man who was just, drafted in to the Cowboys, defensive end. 2 days before his death, he ran 2 touchdowns. He was extremely gifted, all those things. So we asked the question, what happened?
And we don't know. We don't know exactly what happened, but something changed in his life in a moment. From being at the height of exhilaration to a depth of despair so great that he didn't want to be here any longer. And if any of us have ever felt like, I don't want to be here anymore because of a divorce or a death, a loved one, I think in his case it was his mother.
She died last year on February 2024, and from what we understand is that he had a very, very close relationship with his mother, and he always talked about her as being his greatest supporter. And there was so much said about, not so much, let me rephrase that. What was said was what I just said. And so when she died, it was sudden, and it rocked his world. And he kept a little necklace on with her ashes in it. So whenever he'd go to play football or had to be there, he wanted to make her part of it. Another football player came out, Dak, I forgot his last name, co-player, and he was saying that Marshawn had been talking to him about some things that he didn't share that were, he said, ripped his heart apart. And he talked about his wanting to end his life. And so go ahead, honey.
Yeah. 24 years old. That means he would have been 23, close to when his mom passed away. I know what that feels like. My mother was 54 years old. I was 18. And it was kind of very unexpected, although I anticipated there was some risk. She was going in for some surgery that at the time was very new. And I was in the chapel waiting room praying, had my Bible and alone, and all my family had gone off to do other things, and they were gonna go out and get something to eat and come back. And when they came back, my mom went into a grand mal, and she passed away. And I was in shock. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I remember going home that night and heading up to my room. My dad was downstairs, and I asked him to do me a favor. I said, whatever you do, don't die tonight, because I can't stand to lose both of you in one day. And we don't know what the circumstances were, and we don't know how anyone could have intervened, but something happened to take you from high to low. And we were talking about that's an isolated incident. We can relate to that. I can. And then we were talking about our words. You know, we were talking about how words can impact you to crushing. Words can say something about, you can say words to somebody that will make them live or make them want death.
I want to bridge that. I want to go back here before we go any further about talking, if you don't mind, because that's what we want to talk about today. Now, we're not saying something was said to him, like Jonathan just said, like I'm trying to say. All of us are saying we don't know. We know that he suffered with mental illness of some kind for a while, a couple of years probably before his mother suddenly passed away, and that put him into a dark pit. And we want to be careful because he just passed away, and we don't want to overtalk it and say too much, and respect to the family and his fans, and the fact that, you know, he was a living member of, you know, the human race. So, but what are we trying to say here is that there's so many people around us. Everybody was saying about him, like, every time we saw him, he was happy. He was always on time. He got to the field on time. He was always there, and he was so nice. He was so good to everybody, and like all these things. And there was this internal darkness, a bleakness that he didn't share with the world. It was isolated. And you know, the night of his death, there was his girlfriend called the police department. She said, "You've got to go after him. He's armed," and so forth and so on. And he's been talking about taking his life. And of course, you know the story. And what Jonathan and I really want to emphasize out of our talk this morning is, you know, I hate to say we take it all for granted. I don't think that we legitimately, like I can say, oh, well, I just take it for granted. I think just that all of us are so busy in life, and we come across people all the time, strangers, at, you know, works, wherever you're at school, the store, wherever you are in public, and even our own family members. And so they will put on a face like they're okay, but they'll have a public face, because that kind of suffering is completely another world that we don't understand. So John, go ahead and talk about the words that can make a difference or break a person, like we were talking.
Well, for example, if I tell you you're fantastic, that you do so much that makes me happy, that you have so many places in our life that you have woven love, and everything you do, if I start to tell you you're wonderful, you're kind, you're always great to be around, I love being with you, and I don't know what I would do without you. Those are words that, how do they make you feel?
Yeah. They make me feel like, if I'm not, I don't know, sometimes I think we're so used to not getting words of affirmation that when somebody finally says something like, "I really appreciate you. I just think what you do is really important." It's like putting water on a dry plant. I'm going to share a story. May I share a story? I remember I was telling Jonathan this morning this story. There was a woman that was at church, and her name was Paula. This is a long, long time ago, and she's a lovely person. Everybody loved her. She always dressed beautifully. She was very kind, happy, always, you could see her. She's just this beautiful person. I just love talking to her. And I always said hi to her. And there was one day I said hi to her, and she just looked right past me and kept going. And in my youth, I was like, you know, I took it so personally. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe she just treated me like that. And then I was going around talking to my friends, you know, like, you know, Paula, I don't know what, I must have done something wrong. And she just like walked past me, and I had started obsessing about it. And it was like the next couple times I saw her at church, she did the same. And the third time that I saw her at church, she was just like, her head was hanging down. I was still acting, like, well, I must have did something wrong. And I said to somebody standing next to me, I said, Paula? And they were like, yeah. I go, I feel like I must have did something wrong to her, because like she's totally ignoring me, and she's like not even looking at me. And that friend said to me, Joni, Paula's husband just asked for a divorce from her to marry a much younger woman. And I learned something from that, and I learned something else too. It was during that time that I was going to that church that there was this one guy I would always see. We wouldn't even really talk at all. I would just be like, hey, how are you doing? And I'd always say, hey, how are you doing? And he would just look back and say, hey, how are you doing? And so, it was just one of those friendly things. And there was one day I was walking, I came out of the sanctuary and I saw him and I said, hey, how are you doing? And he came right up to me and he said to me, why are you asking? Are you asking because you actually care, because you really want to know? It just caught me off guard. He said, every time we see each other, you always say, how's it going? But I don't think you really want to know. And he just looked so like something terrible was going on in his life, that it stunned me so much that I didn't even go any further. But so he wound up leaving. But it changed the way I view people. That we take language like, hey, how's it going? And that's okay to say that to a lot of different people you're never going to see again. Like, hey, it's just a nice gesture. But you know what? It did something deeper, Jonathan. It made me really think, if you're going to say, how are you doing? I love what that coach said. We listened to Marshawn's coach, and his coach gave this excellent word. It was like a 3-minute, 25-second video. And he spoke about how grieved he was. But the greater thing, sorry, somebody walked by. I think what we got out of it was that he said, when you talk to people, he says, I told my players, take the headsets off. He said, when you ask them how they're doing, he said, mean what you're saying. Ask them, how are you doing? He said, like, earth it in. Ask, how are you doing? Spend more time, and spend more time kind of assessing what people are about. I'm not saying there's a blanket covering, and this word is over everybody, because every single person, and it's random. It could be maybe a person in 1 week. But you know what? Every person's different. Think about what you're saying, because in the word, we're talking about, I think it was Proverbs 13 verse 11. It said, the words of tale bearers are like wounds that go down into the innermost part of the belly. That means to your core, man. And there is power. We've been given so much power, John, with the words that we speak.
And they are life or death in the power of the tongue. And bottom line is, we take it for granted that our words are going to be beneficial. But there's times in our walk with the Lord and in our family, especially our family, that when somebody says something curt to us, we immediately take it to heart. It hurts. So we need to be mindful that if your words are not lifting somebody up, don't say anything.
Yeah, because listen, death and life, it's interesting how that verse goes. Okay, that's Proverbs 18, 21, I think. But it says death and life. It doesn't say life and death. It has power to kill. It talks about how our words, think about this. I was putting it to this. I was thinking this morning that the word of God is from everlasting to everlasting. It's forever. It comes out of eternity and it goes on into eternity. But I was thinking, and I said to Jonathan, I said, I think our words are too eternal. Once we speak them out and they go into a person, it could be that one time that something is said that can alter the eternal destination of one person. And that word that we said it, maybe we weren't thinking. Even if we realize later, I remember back in 1997, I said this to this person, and I repent of it. I know I hurt that person. God forgive me. But see, now we have to pray for the person who received that word and pray that if they are wounded. Because I'll tell you something, there was somebody who said something to me long ago, and it was really mean. And it doesn't sound like it was anything big, but this person said to me, you know what, everything you say is dumb. And it struck me, like, it wasn't like I was being cursed at, it wasn't like horrible at all, but it profoundly for 2 decades controlled my ability to speak. And those words kept playing in my head. Like whenever I'd start trying to share something or, whatever, like tell a story of something I just saw or heard, I would get so far and then I'd hear those words in my mind, everything you say is dumb. And I had to really fight to get free. I'm free now. But you see, you do not know, we don't realize. It's time for us to realize.
Yeah, think back to something that somebody said to you that to this day is still cringeworthy. Something that out of either carelessness or spite. For example, I have had a friend I've known for 50 years, and when I speak about him, he's a wonderful guy, he's smart, great guy. But the moments in my life that were most impactful, that I remember the words coming from somebody, it was from him. He embarrassed me when I was a young man. He let me down on several occasions. And when I think of people who have said things that wounded me, I think of him. And I don't want to be that person. And maybe there's some that can remember what mom or dad or brother or friend, whoever it was, that to this day you're still going, ouch. And it just, we're living in a more and more loveless society.
Love of many are waxing cold.
And it's so important that we be a part of what lifts them up.
Be merciful in the words that you speak. I mean, it really is words of mercy. I mean, we are called in Romans 9:22. It says, hath not God prepared aforetime vessels of mercy, prepared aforetime unto glory? And it's like, we always want to be vessels, right? Lord, make me a vessel, make me a vessel meet for the master's use. And the greatest thing you will show is mercy. It's one thing to love. I was thinking about this today. It's one thing to love. I could love you, John. I could love this person and feel genuine love. But if I'm not having a spirit in that spirit, because love always gives out something. And this can go into so many different river streams. There's so many different circumstances. But you know what that coach said? We need to step back. We really do. Everything is happening so fast and quick in this world today. Everybody's so quick to say something, so quick to react. But you know what? We need to also, in a sense, take off our headsets, and we need to step back, and we need to think about what's going on in our head. Charles Spurgeon said, the mind is the rehearsal hall of the mouth. Remember I said that?
Mm-hmm. So here's what we're going to do. What I'm purposing to do is, when I start to feel that tension of, ridicule or anger, from now on, I'm going to make it my best effort to look for something to say to someone that I love, to someone that I know very well. My words have impact, and I'm going to encourage them. I'm going to tell them I love them. I'm going to show them how you do. I'm going to point out, you know what? You're pretty good at building stuff.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at painting stuff.
You know what? Go to somebody.
Find somebody to say something nice to.
This.
And if you've had somebody you remember some cringeworthy stuff, go fix it. go back and say, I'm sorry.
And listen, even if they don't want to, or you don't feel like it, because some relationships you just can't anymore, and you just have to make it right with you and the Lord and pray, Lord, let them have peace about me. But go from here. Jesus, it says in the word, the camp setteth forward. Jesus always has us going in a forward motion. The day turns into night. There's no going back to tomorrow. But today, it says, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as the Israelites did in the day of provocation. You know what?
Here's another simple thing you can do. You'll be amazed at what a difference it'll make. Is when you're in your day-to-day at the store and you see somebody working hard, go up to them and tell them, hey, you know what? I see you're really working hard.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Or you know what the
Thank
words...
people for the effort you see them do.
You know what words really are really wonderful is when you tell people, I just want to stop and tell you how much I appreciate you. You know, a little bit of that can change a person's life. You do not know that there's a person that's given up. But they're at work, they're bagging groceries, they're doing what they're doing. You don't know.
Does anybody care about me? Does anybody even know
Marshawn
I'm
said
here?
that he was in pain. We don't know who's in pain because they have to show up to life. But you know what? The Holy Spirit works in us, and he gives us a sense about things.
And he'll tell you who and when and what to say and do if you're listening. So
You could save a life.
approach life with what next? That obedience, which my definition of obedience is, what do you want me to do now? That's obedience to the Lord. How can I be a blessing now? So give thought to what you're going to say,
Take a step back
and
if you're
ask
getting
God
mad.
to take you where he wants you to go to say it. Do it in the name of the Lord and build a life.
You never know who's given up. You never know. I mean, it's
I've been there. I've almost given up.
there's times
And somebody called me and said, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Get back here. That was the trip to Coronado. And I'm probably here because of it.
No, you are here because of it. Most likely, because who's to know really what really would have happened. But you know what? If you're alive in the Lord, and I know you are, then you're alive in this world, then it's going to be, you're going to come across maybe somebody's a server at your table, and you said something. Not that you have to go, oh, I want to preach the gospel to you, I want to do all that. You know, sometimes, like, it's enough to say, I just want you to know. I just noticed that you were really working hard, and we just wanted to take the time to tell you we appreciate the hard work that you do because we see you. You know, a lot of times people feel like they're not being seen, and so when you can tell them, I see you, it makes everything.
You know, it's
different.
not a subtle knowledge that Jesus sees from the heart of people. We see our actions, but he sees our heart. And it's our heart that needs to change. It needs to be healed. And to the brokenhearted, he came specifically. He came to the brokenhearted. So look for someone, remember someone, find a way to make a difference that changes the life and the course of everybody you meet in any way you can.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways. There's so many different ways to show.
Oh God.
It's life. We love all the people that go by. But you know what? That's why we're here. We have a purpose. And you know what? Even when people are so mad, step back. You know what? You don't know what's going on in their life. And you don't have to give an answer. Even some situations, just assess the situation and just be quiet. You'll know.
And let me just say for the record how much I appreciate you.
Really, because I feel the same way about you.
I think there's a lot of good that has come into my life because I've known you.
Yeah, me too.
And if you're in a relationship that you can exhale in, you are blessed, because I can exhale. And everything you do for us as our family really started to really make me feel like I am one of the luckiest men on planet Earth. So find somebody to encourage.
I feel the same about him.
I'm a bum.
We love you guys.
So you take care of yourselves.
Remember,
Remember to
life. Speak life.
And like and share and say something in the comments so we know who you are, where you're listening from. That would be helpful. And then, anytime that you take a word given and you apply it to your life, let us know, because it's a good thing when we share our successes, our victories, and our purpose with each other.
Amen.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
God bless you guys.